Hey guys, TommyBryson here, and what are 7 goals you need to set to be successful in life? Whether you're in your 20s, your 30s, your 40s, or even your 50s, it really doesn't matter, okay? But overall, guys, the most frustrated I ever been in my life is when I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do and what I wanted to actually work towards, okay? And by the way, I feel like a lot of people go through that entire process, especially, for example, when you go on Instagram, when you go on YouTube, and it looks like everyone and their mama knows exactly what they want to do with their life. And then you're the only one doesn't know exactly what they want to do or have a purpose or any of that stuff, okay? However, though, that's why for this video right here, I'm going to tell you about the 7 goals you need to be working towards when it comes to being a success in life. And by the way, the only way to guarantee that you'll fail in life is basically working a job you hate for the rest of your life, or for example, sitting on the couch while you watch Netflix, waiting for some motivation or for an idea to pop in your head. That's the only way to go out there and guarantee you're going to be unsuccessful. The point is, you got to go out there and do something. That's the whole idea. And although it might be frustrating not to know exactly what you want to do, if you're working towards the right thing, what you want to do at some point is going to reveal itself to you. That's the whole idea also, okay? Now, if you guys are new here, I post videos every single day, so make sure to also subscribe and hit the bell to get notified, and on top of that, also destroying the like button. Now, the very first thing is this, guys, okay? When I was 19, I was very frustrated, obviously. I didn't really know what I wanted to do, how I was going to do it, and all that stuff. But then I found out about this guy. His name is Tai Lopez. You probably know about him today. A lot of iffy stuff here and there with him. But the idea is I learned about the 4 pillars of life from Tai Lopez. And the 4 pillars of life basically say, hey, here are the 4 things that life revolves around. Everything you do in some way are going to revolve around these 4 things. But then I also found out at age 24 that these 4 pillars of life also have, for example, subcategories. And I found that out from this book right here called The Legacy Journey by Dave Ramsey. And by the way, I'm almost done with it, so awesome. But the whole point is basically, hey, so you have 4 pillars, but within those 4 pillars, you also have subcategories. And those are the goals you want to shoot for. Now, when it comes to the 4 pillars of life, the 4 pillars are basically, hey, you have health, you have wealth, you have love, and lastly, you have happiness. And now, if you choose to, at some point, ignore one of those pillars, you will feel it eventually, okay? That's why, for example, you have people that, hey, I have a lot of money. I'm so good at wealth. But then, I'm very unhealthy. I have health problems. I can barely breathe. I can't even sit upright, okay? Because they neglected their health, right? They're good at wealth, but their health sucks. That's why also you have people that basically, hey, I have a lot of money, I have a good body, all this stuff, but maybe you don't have a single friend or family that actually cares about you. They neglected love in some way. Or people that basically, they're poor, right? Very poor, but guess what? They have a lot of good friends and all this stuff, but in reality, all their friends also have the same bad spending habits. So that's what I'm meaning, hey, if you neglect one of these 4 pillars in some way, eventually you will feel it. It might not be today, but in 5, 10, 20, 30 years, you will start to feel exactly what you neglected, and you will start to regret it. And that's not what I want for you. Now, the very first thing, guys, is this. Again, there's 4 pillars, all right, and 7 subcategories. So the goal is you got to understand these 4 pillars and subcategories and then make goals around them, okay? That's the idea for this video right here. Now, the very first pillar is health. Without health, you don't have anything. It's pretty obvious. And you know, for a very long time, you can neglect it. Hey, I don't care about this. I don't work out, none of this stuff. But eventually, you will feel it when you have a bunch of health issues. Now, the 2 subcategories here are going to be social and physical. Tommy, why is this so important? Well, if you ever notice, guys, okay, social is very important. Why? Because us as humans, we are social creatures. We need to talk. We need to basically have conversations, know people, all this stuff. Social is a big part of also mental health. And although you might say, Tommy, I don't need anybody or any of that stuff. Well, think about, for example, when you were a kid. what was the biggest punishment ever? Not about getting, whooped or anything like that, but more about, hey, if they put you in timeout, they put you in a corner, everyone ignores you, you're not allowed to talk. That is one of the biggest punishments as a kid. As an adult, what's the biggest punishment? Well, in reality, they put you in solitary confinement. The same thing, okay? They put you in a box. You can't talk to anybody, but the time is extended. Meaning, okay, we understand that social is a big part, and not having it is a massive punishment to yourself and also your mental health well-being, okay? That's the idea. So social, in some way, you got to work towards this. And obviously physical, well, if you don't exercise, you don't eat healthy, in some way, it's going to hurt you. So making that a part of your routine, eating healthy, exercising, is going to be a very powerful thing. So overall, some goals to set are going to be, hey, maybe I want to lose weight. I want to go to social events or whatever it is. And by the way, guys, these goals I mentioned here are just examples. There are not concrete goals. I already made a video on how to go out there and actually make a correct goal and how to actually get everything together. It's called the 8-step system to actually creating a good goal. Now, I have a video on that. I'll link it down below. And again, you don't want to have very flimsy goals. I want to lose weight. No. You want to be very specific. And that's why I made that video with 8 steps on how to make a concrete goal. So watch that video there before you finish this video right here. Now, lastly, I want you to picture your life where basically you have a healthy body, where you have healthy relationships. What does that life actually feel like to you? Okay? Picture that life. Everything I'm saying here, guys, okay? The goal is not, hey, I heard you, Tommy, all this stuff. No, the goal is picture this for yourself in your life and how different your life would actually be. If you're overweight now, picture yourself basically, hey, I'm not overweight. I have a nice body. I work out. I eat healthy. If you don't have any friends, picture yourself, hey, I go to social events. I know people now and all this stuff. Picture your life and how different it would be if you took this as a priority in your life. Because in reality, it is a massive priority in life. Now, the second pillar is going to be wealth. And by the way, I think 80% of people focus on this only right here, okay? And that's not what you want to do, okay? So an important part, yes, but again, is only 25% of the puzzle, okay? Only 25% of the puzzle. Now, the subcategories to wealth, guys, are going to be 3. You're going to have, for example, career, intellectual, and also financial planning, okay? And also financial literacy, okay? That all falls under that one thing, financial planning, financial literacy, all right? But you have career, you also have intellectual, actually learning things, and lastly, financial literacy and also planning. Now, why is this right here so important? Because, we know that the average person in America, and by the way, across the world, most people, they retire with no money, with barely enough to take care of themselves. And most people go an entire life working a job they hate, and they wait until they're 65 years old to start living their dream life, to start having their golden years. Well, one thing I learned is basically success is not the destination, success is the journey. So if you hate the whole journey, what's the point of actually getting to the goal you actually want to if you just wasted the whole journey? That's not what you want, okay? Now, why is this so important, right? Because basically, a job and a career are very different. You can have a lot of fulfillment and enjoyment through a career. Doing something you actually enjoy, actually you're good at, and is actually going to earn you way more money than a job. I could work at McDonald's flipping burgers, okay? That might be a job. If you love that, make it a career, yeah. But having a real career, in a sense, whether you want to be a manager, whether you want to be an accountant, whether you want to be a professional, have your own business, whatever it is, it can be different for all of you guys, okay? But the idea is having a career is going to be a lot more better than a job. Difference is that a job is something that you actually do just for money. But a career is something you do, hey, for fulfillment, for enjoyment, and also for money. And usually you'll make a lot more money. Also, when it comes to intellectual, the point is not just on the money aspect, but also on the life aspect. If you go through life without knowing, for example, history or the knowledge that came before you, the answer is you're going through life like for the first time. But if you learn, for example, about Warren Buffett, about Charlie Munger, about even, for example, someone I wasn't a big fan of, by the way, Dave Ramsey, which I have become a fan of these days. The answer is, if you go through life learning about them, the books they left behind, all this stuff is going to help you a ton, okay? Knowledge is very important. So learning is very important. And lastly, financial planning. If all you want to do is become wealthy and have all this money, but you don't know exactly why, how you're going to do it, how much money you actually need, it's going to be a problem. It's like getting in the car, you want to get to California, but you don't have a GPS. It's just stupid, okay? You're not going to get there, most likely. But if you know exactly, hey, I know about money because I'm financially literate, okay? On top of that, I actually have a plan to get to my goal. It's very important stuff, you know? And by the way, if you don't have a plan and you don't know about money, guess what? You found an entire channel here that tells you exactly how everything works. So watch my channel, okay? The whole thing is all about investing, money, and how everything works, okay? So go ahead and learn about those things. Now, picture a life where basically you enjoy your career. The career you actually chose to actually do. You actually get enjoyment from it. You get happy. And you actually feel like, hey, when you're not working, you kind of feel a little sad, you know? A little sad, not crazy sad, but you kind of feel sad when you're not working. That's awesome. On top of that, picture a life where basically you know exactly where every dollar that you actually have is actually going to go towards, okay? So $5, $10 a year is just for spending. But imagine when you know exactly, hey, I know this money here is for my investing, for my debt, all the stuff. The idea is you want to have a good financial plan to get to where you're going. And I also have steps for that. It's called the Financial Freedom Steps. I have a video also linked down below on how to actually do it. And lastly, picture a life where you're growing intellectually through books, through courses, through skills, whatever it is, and your friends come to you to ask you about life and also information. That's also amazing. Now, that's just that one part. That's just the wealth part. And again, wealth is not everything, but it's a big chunk of life. Why? Because guess what? You're going to spend a big part of life working to actually get money. So just make sure what you do, you actually enjoy. Make it a career. Don't just go out there and work a job. Now, number 3, the third pillar is going to be love. And love has 2 subcategories, okay? So far, it's the last one here. You know, health had 2, wealth had 3, love has 2. That's 7 total, okay? But there are 4 pillars. I'll tell you about the last one later. But these 2 subcategories are going to be family and also spiritual. Now, for a fact, religion and spiritual don't have to be intertwined, okay? However, spirituality and also religion are very important things also. Now, when I say spiritual, guys, it doesn't have to be religious, but it helps a lot to go through life with something that's greater than you are, a purpose that's higher than you. For example, for me, that might be like my faith. You know, I'm a Christian, believe in Jesus, all that stuff. But the idea is, if you don't believe in that stuff, in reality, it's all about finding something to be, you know, spiritual about, something greater than you. And that's why, for example, people that have addictions, you know, when they go to AA meetings, like Alcoholics Anonymous meetings, one of the steps are basically having something that's greater than you to help you solve whatever problem you actually have. It's not like my opinion. It's more like a scientific psychological formula to actually just be a better human being in some way. Okay. And last, when it comes to family, I don't just mean, for example, your dad, your mom, but also your wife and kids and your friends and the people you actually allow to be in your circle. It's very important. You also have goals for those things right there. That's the entire idea there. So picture a life where basically, hey, you know what? What are my goals here? My goals are, hey, I want to spend time with my family. I want to plan vacations. I want to plan activities, all this stuff. These are all goals to actually shoot for. Picture a life where basically, hey, you're healthy, great, right? Oh my God, awesome. You have a lot of money, great, awesome. You did wealth. But your family and your kids, guess what? They're not spoiled, okay? Your wife loves you. You don't have a crazy divorce and all that stuff. You know what I mean? The point is, you gotta have a balance in all these categories. And the last one is basically happiness. Now, happiness to me doesn't have a subcategory, but it does have an action. And it's not just, for example, a feeling, oh my gosh, I feel so happy, but it's more like, hey, it's an action of you actually doing what you actually enjoy doing. Happiness is the action of you doing more of what brings you happiness, whether that's your work, whether that's your family, all that stuff, okay? That's the idea. And by the way, I do want to mention one thing, guys, okay? That's the end of the video, by the way. But remember, okay, there is no perfect balance. There is no, hey, I'm going to split my day 25, 25, 25, 25. It doesn't work like that. The goal is to look back 10, 20, 30 years from now and say, hey, I work towards my health. I work towards my wealth. I have a great family. They love me. They care for me. All this stuff. But by the way, I also understand that basically things are not always going to be perfect. You might have made a mistake with the spouse you actually chose. Maybe your family is toxic. Your friends are toxic. So the idea is you got to go out there and you got to find the people that are actually meant to be in your life. And you got to pick them. You got to hand pick them out, okay? That's the whole idea. But guys, overall, those right there are the 4 pillars of life, but also the 7 categories of life that I actually learned from Dave Ramsey. A great book right here. If you haven't read it, go ahead and read this book right here. We'll use this to learn more about wealth also, okay? It helped you out a lot, okay, guys? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. And by the way, I hope this video in some way helped you actually have some purpose to what you're actually doing, okay? If you do this correctly, okay? If you work towards your health, you'll be more healthy. Work towards your wealth, having a career, growing intellectually, and also, for example, having a financial plan. All of the stuff is going to help you. That's the goal, okay? But don't forget, okay, the last thing is, you're only competing with yourself. Don't worry about what anybody else is doing. Worry about yourself and you actually getting better every single day. So ignore the social media, ignore the YouTube, ignore all that stuff. Just focus on you working towards your goal. And by the way, remember, okay, you got to set concrete goals. So watch that video on those 8 steps to actually set concrete goals. Again, link down below along with the link to my entire financial plan. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thanks for watching. As always, like, subscribe, hit the bell so you're notified. And if you guys want to tell me anything or just DM me, well, join me on Instagram, TommyBryson. Or for example, if you want to call me one-on-one, I have a 3rd channel called Ask TommyBryson where I take calls from Monday to Friday. Again, link down below. And lastly, if you want to just watch more content, I have a 2nd channel called TommyBryson Show where I post there every single day also, okay? As always, guys, thanks for watching. Here's another video here. Click my face right here. See you guys tomorrow. And as always, peace.